give in to it, if you just sit there and get old, what's the point?
I just like the independence and the privacy of your own home.
You get to a stage where family members will turn around and say, well, we can't cope.
It keeps me young, keeps me stimulated mentally.
No doubt about it.
You don't want to be lonely, you don't want to be sad and on your own. You need company.
I mean, this park is on my doorstep. Mental health ways, it's a godsend.
I look forward to every session that I do.
If you're not active, what tends to happen is you slow down and things start to hurt.
I used to go out every day, but I can only do it about twice a week now.
I used to play sport and stuff, and not able anymore.
I'm not an active person by nature. I gotta force myself to do things.
I love connecting, networking, helping, supporting, and that keeps me going, both physically as well as mentally.
And I just keep active by walking.
And I scoot around in my wheelchair.
Good Boost is great for people who've got issues with their mobility.
I'm able to do things that without it I wouldn't be able to do.
There's a knock-on effect. The more you do, the better you feel.
Previous to doing this, I just felt I was getting older and older and stiffer.
The Active Families project is about well-being and keep fit and keep well.
Oh, I like coming to all the groups I go to, you know. It's exciting, I get on with people and all that.
The Civic Dollars has been great.
I really didn't want to go out, but here I am, out, blue skies, and I'm feeling good.
Cricket Cube is really good because it's intergenerational. You can bring at least 3 generations together, and it breaks the gender barrier as well.
I think it would be really good to have more exercise in the community.
Bringing back rounders, skipping, hopscotch, all the old games.
And anything that encourages people to get involved in community, to get involved with any kind of a group at all is bound to be beneficial.
I feel so much better and so much younger, and I can stand on one leg, which I couldn't do previously.
I'm on the outside, but inside I don't feel.
I'm doing a skydive. It's not showing that what a 67-year-old can do, but it's showing what Nadine, who happens to be 67, can do.
I've always been fiercely independent, and so my ideal would be to live independently at home.
I'd like to stay in my own house as much as is practically possible, but what I'd like to do after that is to move into some supported living accommodation or something like this, where I've got somebody to interact with.
It's one of those facts of life, but I hope I don't get into a position where I have to move.
I'm with senior people now, and we have so much more in common. It's been really good for me.
I don't like being treated as though wheelchair equals she's lost her marbles.
I'd like to be cared for with dignity, with compassion.
With patience, but also with encouragement.
The only help I get is my neighbour next door. He'll cut the grass for me at the back and the front.
I've never had to have anyone care for me. I'm the one that does the caring.
I've got 1 daughter and I've got 6 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. So if I live to a good age, hopefully some of them will help out.
Well, my one fear is that I will take out Alzheimer's or something like that, you know, not be able to do things for myself.
If I'm in a position to pay for the care, I would rather have somebody who are trained professionals, and that's where another issue comes up, because we need to make sure that there are people from our communities, South Asian communities, who are trained carers.
I love to work, I love to have a purpose, so as long as I'm actually able to, I won't give up work.
As long as I'm physically able, I can think, read, write, articulate myself, I'll continue working.
Well, I retired because I got this arthritis in my elbows, and that was the most terrible pain. And I just didn't want to pack in work, but I had no choice.
When I was paid off my work, I felt as though I'd been dumped on the rubbish heap. I was depressed for about 6 months. And then I just got myself up and said, right, get on with it.
When you retire, you have lots more time to do things. And then I work out a few months ago, was like, how did I ever have time to work in the first place?
I use a mobile phone, I've got a laptop, I've got a, a tablet.
I'm not good at technology, I'm afraid.
I panic when I'm put in front of a laptop because I don't know and I would feel stupid.
I've never done online in my life. I don't know what it means or what it is.
To be honest with you, I'm not great with technology. I use this Civic Dollars app. I wouldn't be a huge one for using social media.
Everybody knows how to use WhatsApp, how to send a photo on a WhatsApp, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're IT trained.
Used to be quite a technophobe, but then I realised how useful it could be.
You have to have a knowledge of technology, or at least, you know, a small knowledge of technology to be able to do anything these days.
As you get older, I think we need to get the grip and get some lessons, or someone teach us how to use the technology.
I lost a daughter a few years ago, and I became isolated very, very quickly.
I know what it's like to not want to get out of bed in the morning.
I think it's very important when you've suffered from mental health to get out of the house.
I am dealing with all this kind of things with the help of my community around me.
Even days that I do feel down or feel under pressure, I know I have an escape. You know, I know I have people I can talk to.
It's nice to get out and talk to other people of your problems and their problems, and it just makes you feel better generally.
Talking really is one of the most active things to keep the mind active, because by talking you're learning, you're also listening.
I wouldn't be able to go into the town myself now. We have to travel to get my nearest bus.
As you get older, and it's much more difficult to jump in the car, so if the bus service could improve, that would be brilliant.
I used to enjoy going in the town, but there's no point now. There's only about 2 shops in Aberdeen worth going to.
I think more little smaller meeting groups, smaller luncheon clubs, that's what people seem to need. They need people to sit and listen to them and help them.
So there are still elements of discriminatory, anti, kind of hate type feeling amongst the communities because of the whole issue around security cameras, the presence of different agencies working together, so at least the city centre is safer than when I was around in the 70s and the 80s.
I'm quite hopeful about the future, and I think we older people need to take charge of this and help to drive the future.
We, the elders, have a body of knowledge. We don't want to change the world, but what we can give to the world is a lot of things through our own experiences.
It's part of life, but I'll do everything that I possibly can to try and keep myself as active as I can.
But who knows what's around the corner? I've already had a quadruple bypass and I've had a few bits and pieces wrong, so I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, it's just a fact of life. It'll come to you one day.